Hey, everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day. Alonso here with Matt and Christy. I have been remiss and did not get a chance to catch up with Sea Fever, but they have come down with it. So they'll be telling you all about it. I'll just be over here in the corner. Ignore me.
Sea Fever tells us the story of a scientist, a science student who is on her way to get her doctorate. And as part of her study, she has to go on a boat with a fishing boat to kind of study the animals that they catch and work on her, kind of taking pictures and logging what they do because she studies behavior and patterns. The character's name is Siobhan.
Played by Hermione Corfield.
She gets on the boat. She's very, very introverted. And her professor all but kicks her out of the lab to go to the boat. She's afraid to get on the boat. And then as soon as she gets on the boat and takes off her hat, you see a couple of crewmen. Oh, no, she's got red hair.
Have you heard of that? Is that a thing?
I had not heard of that.
Red hair is like bad luck?
But I'm not an Irish sailor, so who knows?
But you play one on TV. Now,
No.
I am Irish, but I'm not a sailor.
I only drink and swear like an Irish sailor. This movie starts off with some very telling moments. One saying that, fishermen don't learn to swim so that they'll drown quickly. Because Siobhan tells them, I have to go on a dive. And they all look at her like she's grown a third eye. The skipper of the boat is played by
Connie Nielsen.
Connie Nielsen is
Dougray Scott.
Dougray Scott is the skipper. Connie Nielsen's kind of the boss and makes all the decisions. So they go out on their trip and they have to avoid this one particular area, but maybe they go in it and something stops the boat and Siobhan gets out. She takes a dive and there's things in the water.
Yes, weird things start happening on the boat. It's like Irish Alien on the high seas.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, because there's a thing that gets in to the boat.
So I dug this movie. Like this is a nasty little horror movie. Almost like. It's got some of the tropes of a haunted house story, like they're trapped on the boat. People start getting picked off one by one. There's a monster outside the boat. Oh, maybe there's monsters inside the boat. Maybe there's an infection. Oh, there is an infection. They find another boat that things have gone terribly, terribly wrong. There's a couple of moments of really shocking, surprising gore in this. Oh boy.
Cronenbergian body horror, I would dare call it.
But, this movie, this is not the greatest, most profound, scary movie I've ever seen. But I think it does what it sets out to do pretty well. It sets some things up relatively early that pay off later. Chekhov's red hair. But I like this. It's tense. You kind of don't know where it's going. Yes, there are some moments that feel like you've seen the story before, but it kept me guessing enough that I kind of dug it. And I had a fun time watching this movie. There's a lot of it. I'm sitting in the corner of my house with my headphones on, and there's more than a few times I was like, oh no, right? And like
I was like,
yeah, right. But it's also like, ugh.
Yeah, right? There's some gnarly stuff that happens, I would say. So if you cannot deal with gore, you might have a hard time with some of this stuff.
This is a tight, freaky little movie, and yet it's got some other pieces to it that are enough that it keeps you guessing, right? And I like that. Like enough, like what's really going on here? It doesn't get too distracted from the story. It keeps, it's not so much curveballs, but what you think is happening and then kind of the reveal of what really is happening. And then there's some secondary effects and then what they're trying to keep from happening. Like if anything, there's times that this almost feels a little bit like not quite, again, as profound, but it borrows a little bit from The Thing. Right.
Well, and also because the isolationism of it, it's also kind of relevant for our times now because they're trapped and, somebody gets sick they have to try to like quarantine that person. So it is kind of chillingly relevant. Also, it's not like they're just out on a pleasure cruise for a weekend. Like, this is a fishing boat. Like, they need to make their money. And so there's an underlying tension of like, what is going to happen to us if we cannot fish and if we cannot get back? And they make very good use. It is directed by Neasa Hardiman. She wrote and directed it. And she makes really good use of this tight space. So, you know, there aren't a lot of places to go. And a lot of the places are dark and like deep within the boat. But you can always follow where they are and what is happening. And the sense of claustrophobia is inescapable, rather. And you get to know just enough about all these people to care about them. Connie Nielsen's a badass in it. And I dug it. Is a lean,
I like Dougray Scott in
movie.
this too. I like Dougray Scott as this kind of, you know, a little over the hill kind of skipper who knows what he's doing, but he doesn't always make the right decisions, and he knows that about himself. And he knows he's not, you know, like, he certainly knows he's not the smartest one, right? Because he leaves stuff up to Connie Nielsen. Yeah, I think that this is, again, like an effective little horror movie.
Yeah, and you get a good sense of the camaraderie of all of them on the boat, like when they're talking about, oh, what are you going to do with the money we make from this fishing haul? Oh, I'm going to do this. Like they have dinner together and they tease each other and they have beers together. And so you do come to care about what's going to happen, you know, once this thing takes over one by one.
Yeah.
So I dug it. I'm saying 7.2.
And what did I say?
7.5.
7.5. There we go.
So 7.3 is our number. So if you can bear watching a movie about people stranded at sea on this boat where they're getting infected and they can't get off, if this is the catharsis you need for our troubled times, yeah, so it happens to be weirdly relevant. So go check out Sea Fever.
Yeah. All righty. Well, hey, thanks for watching, you guys. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, visit us on the social media at BeFastAllDay on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and go check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. Lots of fun stuff exclusively for our subscribers, including right now our recaps of HBO's Westworld and The Plot Against America, and the brand new FX Hulu series, Mrs. America. So check all that stuff out. Lots of other fun stuff as well. We hope you are well and taking care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.